That's hard to believe. The end of Peter Morgan's The Crown is almost here. When the media was arguing over whether the show should have a warning that it was based on a work of fiction, and when actors like John Lithgow and Gillian Anderson were causing a lot of controversy over who played the best prime minister. Once upon a time, the Netflix drama series was sure to make a splash during award season. However, The Crown has become less and less like the show it was in its early seasons, and this is clear from the way Part 1 of the series brings it to a close. Part 1 of the show will air this week, and Part 2 will air in December. Part 1 of Crown Season 6 is now available on Netflix. We've broken down the ending of this latest part, which includes what's going to happen to Princess Diana. Netflix has taken us through important times in the history of the British royal family, from the early years of Queen Elizabeth's rule in the 1950s to the unhappy marriage and divorce of Prince Charles and Princess Diana in the 1990s. In the new ESP-baked episodes, Diana and Dodi's fight relationship is shown as it grows before a terrible car accident. Results: Season 6 is likely to be the last one. For those who are ready to jump in, here's what happens at the end of Season 6 of The Crown. There will be spoilers for Episode 4 before it airs. This is the end of Season 6, Part 1. The episode shows how the royal family deals with the fallout from Princess Diana's death and the growing pressure from the public. There is a picture of Diana's partner, movie director Michael Greaves, and Mohammed Al Fatih's son Dodi in the fatal 1997 car accident in Greaves for The People's Princess. At the conclusion of Episode 3, we see how this affects different people in her life, including her young Prince William and Prince Harry, who also find it hard to accept the loss. Charles needs to convince Queen Elizabeth will take care of the country. In real life, the Queen got in trouble for being cold and not going to London in the days that followed. Death of Diana. Diana gave people what they needed, even if it was just proof that deep sadness and pain don't care who you are. The Crown shows Charles begging her to pay attention and love to the bed. It also works on rich and beautiful people, and they loved her for it. Charles leads her to think about those ideas, and while she does, Diana's ghost comes to see the Queen. After charging the late princess of starting a revolution and showing news footage of large crowds gathering outside Buckingham Palace, Diana's ghost says, "It didn't have to be. But it starts to look like an enemy when it makes me an enemy. Not of who I am. Not about me, but about what I stand for. For as long as anyone can remember, you taught us what it means to be British." As she wraps up, she tells the Queen, "Remember, maybe it's time to show that you're willing to learn." The Queen then gives a speech to the British people about Diana's death. That happens in London at the end of the show. I'd like to start by praising Diana as a person. She was truly amazing and talented, and she never lost the ability to make people laugh and smile or feel better with her love and kindness, as she says. From good times to bad, everyone at Balliol has been working to help William and Harry deal with the terrible loss they and the rest of us have been going through this week. Diana will be remembered by millions of people who knew her, of people who think they knew her even. If they never did, I think they could learn from her life and the touching way he responded when she gave him her life. They should always remember her. As William, Harry, and Charles walk with the carriage carrying Diana's body, the scene changes to them crying with many other people who are sad. The Queen prays on her knees next to her bed at the very end.